On this episode of The Chris Pigors Show, in this episode, we will see how Lela has started an incredibly successful business despite her challenging life journey. That and more on this week's episode of The Chris Pigors Show.
Comedian, celebrity, the latest news, 'cause it's all about you. What's up in your hood? Who's up to no good? Find out what's going on the It's Your Show. The reason why I stay up late at night is 'cause It's Your Show.
Welcome back to the Chris Pigors Show. I'm your host, Chris Pigors. Now, our first segment, we talked about how Lela went through a period of homelessness and lost her husband. And today we're going to talk about her starting a business that she just started in March of 2020. So Lela, tell us about your business. We're here, as a matter of fact, this is your business. It's Lela's Place.
It is Lela's
Tell us about it.
It was always a dream of mine to be able to have a place where I could have people celebrate the happy moments of their life, because tomorrow's not promised to us, and as you know, there's ups and downs in life, and so it felt like it would just be so great to be a part of people's special day. And I've worked for corporate America and had done event planning and was event director and private events director for other event centers, and I always felt like things were, one, super expensive, and then two, very limited on what you could and couldn't do. And so I always wanted to have a place where people could come and feel like it was their home away from home, and just enjoy being in nature and also be close to everything. And just whether it's a baby shower or bridal shower or celebration of life or family reunion or a wedding, they could celebrate all those moments in their life and feel like they're at home and feel like someplace is just very nice but yet budget friendly. And so that's basically what I'm created here, and it's been wonderful. I mean, obviously starting a business during COVID, it's probably not the easiest thing to do, and so it took a couple of months to be able to shut down, so I couldn't get anything done during that time. And then my official open house was September the 25th, and so since then, it's been full steams ahead. So it's been great.
And what made you start a business during COVID? Wasn't that scary? I mean, wasn't that kind of nerve-wracking?
Well, it definitely wasn't my intention. COVID was something that was going on in China when I went into contract negotiations for Lela's Place back in November, and going back and forth with the seller, and finally we had come to an agreement, and the closing date was March, and it just happened that COVID shutdown happened during that time. So it definitely wasn't a plan. If I had known COVID was going to happen, I probably wouldn't have started during that time. But I'm so glad I did, because I was able to create an outdoor venue where people could have small, intimate events. And then I think too, it kind of helped people to concentrate on what was really important.
Right.
And so instead of having this 150 person wedding with people who you're probably never going to talk to or see again, you started having these small, intimate weddings where I would have, 15, 20 guests. And so one, I got to know the families really, really well. And then two, being a part of someone's special moment, something that they're going to remember the rest of their life. So it's been a truly, truly a blessing.
At what point in your lifetime did Lela's Place cross your mind? And then, it's here, but when did that take place in your mind where you said, you know what, I want to create a place, Lela's Place, where you can get that, those special memories?
Well, my first Lela's Place was when I was 5 years old, my grandmother's house in her backyard. I invited the other little girls over for a tea party. So that was the first Lela's Place. Oh, wow. And so I've always kind of known that I thought when I stopped doing research, I would, go back. I mean, I did parties and events to help pay for college and to go through college. And so I always felt like when I retired from research, I would end up, having my own place and doing that again. So it was always something that was something I loved, and something probably that, since I was 5 years old, that I always figured I would someday have or do. I always loved throwing parties and entertaining and helping friends throw parties and entertain. So it's something that I'm very passionate about. And so it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like I get paid to party.
Was there a point of time that you said, you know what, I definitely want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to work for somebody else. Was that a childhood? Was that college? Was it after college? You started working, and you kind of got that entrepreneurial bug, or?
Well, I definitely in college had thought about it, and then I had invested in different properties, like rental properties, and so I had done that, and luckily that money helped to kind of, put aside to be able to pay for other things in life. But then I would say, when I was getting my master's, I did it in business as well, so that way I would be able to, if I ever did decide to have my own business, I would be able to do it. But when it really came screaming forward was when I was working for a company here and just didn't like that corporate mentality where I felt like it was almost kind of like fast food for events. Like you get as many people in as quickly as possible, get them in and out, make as much money as possible. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that personal connection, that relationship, that trust. And I wanted to be able to have that. I had a client who came in, her husband had just passed away. She was trying to organize a celebration of life. And my boss had called over on the phone and was like, you need to get on our corporate call because we're going to go over goals and what have you. And I'm like, well, I'm here with, someone, let me finish with her. And it took a couple hours to finish up with her. And I kind of got chastised a little bit for spending that much time with her. But I'm like, this is the worst moment of her life.
Right.
And I know what it feels like to go through that worst moment of your life. And you shouldn't be rushed. And I'm like, at that moment, I was like, I need to have my own venue. And so as much as, I think my boss, she was trying to chastise me, she was really the catalyst for me saying, I'm out of here. And I'm so thankful for her because I think when you're in corporate America, you get so comfortable with knowing that you're not taking those risks. But nothing risk, nothing gain, right?
Absolutely.
So, and it's been a tremendous blessing. Like every person who has come through here, like I feel like it's a part of the family. Like I stay in touch with like my brides and different people, and I tell them when they, have their baby, send me a picture of that baby so I can put it in my scrapbook. And it's just those sweet little moments. And so I definitely think this was what I was meant to do, and this is where I was meant to be. And so, yeah, it's been great.
It sounds like that's customer service.
Yes, definitely.
Is what you're offering.
Yes.
Your guest is customer service, and you're right. You call up your local phone company or whatever, and the customer service is gone.
Yes.
A lot of businesses today have lost that basic customer service skill, and that's why I like small businesses, because you can really get the customer service that you deserve. Plus, you thrive. I mean, your business is not going to succeed without you delivering to your clients. What advice would you give to those that want to start a business right now? First of all, is this the right opportunity? Is this the time? And what would you say to them, someone that's right now says, I want to start a business?
I would say, one, make sure it's something you're passionate about, because there's nothing worse than getting up every morning and do something that you dread doing. Even if it's something that's lucrative, if you don't enjoy it, it's not worth it. I would say, like I said, make sure it's something that you're passionate about so you feel like you don't work a day in your life. And then two, make sure that you check out competition, see what they're doing, because hardly anyone invents something that's completely new.
Right.
Usually there's somebody else in the industry who's
Right.
doing that. And then if there are people in the industry who are doing it, but you think you can do it better, meet with them, find out what they're doing, find out, all their mistakes and successes, and then that way you can rule out those things, and
Right.
so then you can take it up to another level. And two, just make sure that you always treat people the way you want to be treated, and under promise and over deliver.
Right.
And that's what I always try to do with my clients, and listen to them. A lot of times you don't listen, and so you don't realize exactly what the person's wanting. But if you listen and truly listen to what they're saying, then you'll be able to make their dreams come true.
Now, what if you don't have a lot of money to start a business? You have the desire, there's this passion inside of you, but you just don't have a lot of money. Is there anything that a person who wants to start a business can do with not a lot of money?
Yeah, I would suggest talk to the small business administration people, get a business plan together, figure out what your startup cost is going to be and your carrying costs for the first year. I didn't do those things because obviously I was doing during COVID, but I had obviously learned those things in college, so I had already set aside money, so I was fine financially during COVID, even though you're making no money for a year.
Right.
And then now there's like the great boom. It's like the floodgates have opened and everyone's having events, and
Right.
so it's been wonderful. But just make sure that you know what you're doing, and truly, a bank is not going to loan you money if they don't think your business is viable.
Right.
So that's kind of a help then. But if someone says no and you know that they're wrong and you're still determined to do it, don't take no. Keep hit the pavement and keep working until you can do what you want to do, even if it takes you longer and you have to save up and you have to work 2 or 3 jobs to put that money aside to do it. If it's something that you're passionate about, go for it.
Awesome.
You only live once.
I know that's right. Awesome. Well, look, you got a fabulous place here. Can we take a little tour and kind of see?
Let's definitely take a tour. We'll act like you're one of my customers and I'll take you around.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, let's go for it. This is Lela's place, and as you can see, this is one of my favorite trees. This is a Bradley pear tree, and usually Bradley pear trees are really weak and they'll break, but this one is really, really old, and keep it clipped back and have the light string in it. It's just, a great place. Have lots of weddings out here. And then we have the brick wall back here, which is wonderful for different shots and photos. And then obviously this is my favorite building. This is Lela's Place Extraordinaire. And originally it was yellow, and so I painted it white because it has to have a white house, white farmhouse, and then black shutters. And when you look at the records, it says that it was built in 1996, but it wasn't. That's when it was retrofitted, was in 1996, but it's an old farmhouse. This used to all be farmland here in Peachtree City. And so it's kind of great because you're right here in the heart of the city, right off of the 54 freeway, so it's really convenient, but yet you're hidden back here and it feels like you're in this really kind of secluded, quiet place. And so you see the gardens, we have lots of plants, but make it where it's very organic instead of all tight and conformed.
Nice.
So let's go ahead and head inside so you can see the inside. All right, welcome to Lela's Place.
Oh, wow. Now, what is this for?
This is the first floor. So this I usually use for small banquets, as well as meetings. And so it kind of just depends on what the person needs. I've had lots of elopements that we've done in front of the fireplace over there. We had an event here yesterday, a baby shower. And so we used these farm tables as like a buffet.
Oh, awesome.
And so it's a great space. You can have tables and chairs in here in different configurations. Make it as intimate or as big as you choose. So normally it's like 50 people. I like to have here max. And then you have the downstairs restroom here. And then down here is the prep kitchen area. And then upstairs is the bridal suite where the brides can get ready. And then also there's other meeting space there as well. But for now, we're gonna go outside and look at the pavilion.
Let's go.
This So this is the pavilion, and
Okay.
when you turn on the cafe lights, it's very romantic. We had, obviously, like I said, an event yesterday, baby shower, and they wanted a U-shaped configuration, but you can put the tables and chairs however you want, and we have the fans, which in Georgia come in handy.
Yes,
And also have heaters for the obviously the winter time when it's colder.
Okay.
And then you have the slate walkway. I
Okay.
put this in because we have some elderly people who
Okay.
needed something easy to be able to walk on.
Okay.
And then we have the grounds, the bird cage. These oak trees are 100-year-old oak trees.
Wow.
So they've been here a very long time.
Wow.
They give a lot of shade and character to the space. And then you have the garden area, which I love. When I first got the place and started cleaning out all the 3 years of leaves and started planting all these fun plants, I didn't realize like there was so much potential here.
Right.
And when I started planting the plants, unfortunately, I didn't realize there were deer and rabbit. And so I would put in these big hostas, and the deer and rabbit would come and eat them all up. And so once I realized that I had animals, then I decided to do things that they didn't like to eat.
Right.
So that's how
Makes
I ended
sense.
up with this garden. And then this was the first deck area that I built to be able to, there was an existing one here, but it was falling apart. So we redid it and made it stronger. And it's great for when you have dancing under the stars.
Awesome.
So it makes it really, really a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Like I said, another 100-year-old oak tree there.
Awesome.
So it's great. It shades and just makes it really, really sweet. And then back there you have the fountain and the wedding area. And so it just feels like you're home.
Yes, it does.
This by far is my favorite spot. I love the gardens. I love the flowers. Like right now, it's like in between blooms, but when all the different flowers are blooming, it's just magical. And then you have this 100-year-old oak tree. And so it's just, sometimes in between clients, I'll come out here and just sit out here and kind of relax. And the breeze is always wonderful. And
This
so,
is nice.
Thank you. And so it's been a lot of fun.
Now let me ask you, Lela.
Yes.
I usually do a special for my viewers. Is there anything you can do for our viewers right now? Because this is a great place for, a graduation, a wedding, a baby shower, whatever. Is there anything that you can do for our viewers?
Definitely. Well, definitely I have a June special for June 2021.
Okay.
So basically if you're thinking about getting married, but you didn't want to have to go all the way to Vegas, you want something small and simple, elopement package,
Awesome.
we have for $300.
Awesome.
And then if you're not looking to get married, if you want to have a small event, we also have specials for that. And so
Awesome.
if you say that you were referred to by Chris Pigors, then you can get,
Awesome.
$100 off any kind of event you want to have.
Oh, awesome. So you hear that? So $100 off of your event if you mention the Chris Pigors Show or Chris Pigors. And if you want to elope, that's $300, right?
Correct.
Great. That's awesome. So I have truly enjoyed the tour, talking to you. You should write a book. She should also do a show called Ask Lela. Ask Lela. So until next time, I'm Chris Pigors. I'm your host, Chris Pigors. This is Lela again. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
The latest news, 'cause it's all about you. What's up in your
Tune in, follow us, and make sure to catch the next episode of The Chris Pigors Show. Remember to like and click the subscribe button to follow more of The Chris Pigors Show. Please take the time to learn more about our guests seen on today's show. We'll see you next time on The Chris Pigors Show.
Lela's Place is your home away from home. It is in Peachtree City, but it feels like it's a world away. It's very quiet, very secluded. You're surrounded by trees and wildlife, and you can have an indoor or outdoor event, and you don't kill your budget. What makes Lela's Place special is the fact that you don't just get a venue, you get someone with 20 years of event experience, and I cater to your every need. Since we've started, we've done every kind of event. We've had baby showers, bridal showers. I've had tea parties for little girls. I've also done child birthday parties, adult birthday parties. I've had a family reunion, the class reunion, lots of weddings. There's lots of little camera nooks, lots of little places where you can take photos, whether it is the cast iron wall or the brick wall, or one of the trees that you want as your backdrop. There's flowers. There are lots of different things in the garden for backdrops, as well as there's a bird cage. There's arches. So there's lots of different places you can do. I actually have photographers who pay me to come here and do photo shoots because there's so many different spots. Follow us on Lela's Place on Instagram, Facebook, or you can go visit our website at www.lelasplace.com.
Thanks for watching The Chris Pigors Show. Be sure to like us on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification button to be notified of our upcoming shows. Feel free to leave a comment. To see any specials or promotions, see the description page below.